very excited today. We have the gorgeous Julie Elliott, who is a director at P&M Bank, talking all about finance and everything about you. And I wanted people to know about you because Julie is going to be one of our panellists for the V Shift Day, and I'm just so excited to have your incredible expertise and share that with everybody on the day.
No, very excited to be part of it, Scarlett, and really looking forward to being able to hopefully share a bit of my knowledge and experience with the group that are there and online as well, but also hopefully to make a difference in people's lives and with their businesses.
I love it. Your experience is amazing and your history. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Look, I'm just a girl from the western suburbs of Sydney who, like a lot of girls and kids from my generation, no one from the family had been to university, so it was a big thing when I got into university. And realistically, if it hadn't been for free university education, my family wouldn't have been able to send me, and that's made a big difference to my life and my parents' expectation that I would study more, and I've continued to study my career, but that step was really important. So from there I went to chartered accounting, to banking, and then up through different levels in banking, culminating in me running my own bank, a small bank, Bank of Sydney, which I left a couple of years ago, and now I'm on the board of a bank. So I feel very blessed, and life has given me tremendous opportunity, and if I can help others and give them a hand up along the way, that's what I want to do.
I love it. And Julie, because, I mean, you just know everything on the banking side, you know, from finance to super to what we can and can have, which would be wonderful to share on the day for women. Yeah. We are also doing a 12-week program that will run after that if people want to know a bit more. But on the day, which Julie's involved with, but on the day it'd be great to get those tips that will help us that we just kind of don't know. I mean, what is something that you can think of that would be, you know, something that I certainly wouldn't know about? Tell me.
Well, I'm really passionate about the fact, you know, business and a lot of small businesses being started by women. I think something like 80% of startups are being started by women. I think because, you know, we just don't want to put up with the corporate environment as much, and we're prepared to vote more with our feet and back ourselves. But in starting up your own business, there's lots that you have to think about to make it successful. And it's not just about the profit and loss, what's on paper. What really is the lifeblood of a business, which I'm passionate about because it's the blood flowing through the veins, is the cash flow. And whether you're a startup business or you're a growth business, having that cash flow and spending some time every day to pay attention to that can make a real difference. Many successful businesses look successful on paper, but because of cash flow, they can still fail. So,
God, so true.
It's about that cash flow. And as I said, whether you're a startup business or whether you're a growth business, it's still as critical. But then also a relationship with your bank. So choose your own bank, but make sure you've got a good relationship with them, so that if you do need some help from time to time, you can go and talk to them about it.
Of course, it's so important. I'm so used to being alone on everything, so it is interesting to hear about, get that relationship, which I haven't got.
And no one should ever feel alone.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing how much, you know, how generous people are if you do reach out, and how willingly people give to you. And I've always found the saying is very true, that a problem shared is a problem halved.
It's so true. I love that. So what are some of the things that women over 40s issues are in finances?
Well, apart from the cash flow, which I've spoken about, if you're in your own business, there's an increasing number of women, sadly, in their 40s going through divorce.
Yes.
And often those women haven't been the ones managing the finances of the household. So negotiating that whole financial piece during the divorce, and then managing the finances post a divorce or separation is really important. But then also, as I'm finding out at the moment too, because sadly I'm a divorce statistic and on the dating scene, and you know, the traps that you can fall into and getting into another relationship, protecting yourself, because You know, when I was 17, I didn't think about that stuff, and I didn't have anything to lose. Whereas now my situation's quite different, and I don't want that to hamper any relationship.
But
I
you've
would
got to
get
be
into.
real about it.
But you've got to be realistic and have your eyes open a little bit.
Yes.
So if I can share
Yes.
through my journey what I've learnt both professionally and now personally,
I love it.
and help people along the way, that's what I want to do.
Great, because we've also got a couple more panellists, one of them being Kay Schubuck, who's going to be talking. She's in specifically around domestic violence and how she had the issue with her partner and what happened and financially left her in a difficult situation. So it'd be a great thing to discuss.
Oh, you can get debt and get yourself into a situation just by your partner.
Because the thing is that it's so hard when it's emotional, you know, and you're kind of blindsided by that fear or that kind of part of, I just have to get away, I'll do whatever it takes, and then you kind of feel a bit cornered. So I know someone told me that really even before you're thinking about divorce, you need to really look at, you know, the parameters before you even go into it.
Oh, absolutely, or divorce or a second relationship. Because as I've found out recently, it's not just the, and this was by talking to my divorce lawyer when I kind of found out about this concept, but it's not now just living together that you can get into problems. There's now this law called cohabiting. So even by being in a looser relationship with someone for a couple of years, they can have a right to claim against your assets as well. So, I mean, I don't want it to stop me or anyone else getting into a relationship, but everyone should go in with their eyes open.
Isn't that amazing? I had no idea about that. So it's almost like you need like mini prenups that you, and it is such a damn. I mean, I can't imagine doing that with my partner or me because of the nature of who I am. I'd be like, no, we're all in it. But then when it does get in that situation, it's a very tough conversation. But we will be having that one on a bigger scale when we get to the panel. What else can you think of that would help for women over 40?
I think just continuing growing and learning. I think the way the workplace is and life is now, and you know, women get busy and absorbed with their families and all of their other things that they have, you know, their other commitments and things they have to do. But making sure you carve out some time to spend on yourself, just continuing to learn and grow and evolve both personally, emotionally, but also professionally. You know, they say now that people professionally are going to have 4 different, quite distinct careers, and to do that, you're going to have to keep and whole careers disappear now with digital disruption and technology. You know, whole bits of the workforce just get wiped out. So to continue to be relevant, you know, you've got to keep studying, you've got to continue growing and evolving professionally as well as personally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Because I love that from your point of view, you see a lot of businesses in, you know, what you're doing and what's working and what's not. So that'll be fantastic to talk about your tips around that.
I love talking about the whole digital disruption place, and something I am very passionate about is any business, even if you think you can't be digitally disrupted, you've got to be thinking about it and thinking about, well, digitalisation is going to come in some form to my business. And obviously a technologically based business more so, but even physical service industries like physiotherapy or chiropractic, there's going to be some stuff around the fringes that are going to change and evolve with digitalisation. So everyone's got to be thinking about it and changing their business models and the way they even, you know, to taking bookings or whatever.
Because that'll be great, because with the program that we're running afterwards and a bit on the shift day, you'll be taking through each of those. We're talking about, you know, finance, cash flow, how to do that. So it'll be fantastic to learn more about that. But what is, you know, it's interesting you're talking about digital because, you know, how do you get the cut through? When you look at people's businesses and you're obviously seeing their cash flow and you're seeing what's working, is there anything that you've learnt from your experience that you could advise?
I think be very clear on your competitive difference and what's different about your business and why people would come to you, and being able to articulate that, and make sure that you keep that fresh and keep it interesting and evolve that.
See, branding, very important. Marketing.
No, branding and personal branding as well as branding the business, because when you're the head of the business, and when I was running the bank, what I was very conscious of was the brand of the bank was me, and I was the brand of the bank.
Mm.
And the two are interrelated. So when you're the owner or leader of the business, the two are just interlinked.
Well, it is all that filters down, all your values and beliefs filter down, because I know often when I do talks with employees and I get them to see that the reason why they've joined that business is because of the synergy they have with the values and beliefs of that business, and to understand and own that. So I think it's great to know that they still have to do that digitally to find that message that's coming through.
Everything in a business has to support all the elements. So whether it's no element of the business is in isolation. So they've all got to support the same message, and that's when business is at its most successful.
I love it so much. I mean, yes, to learn on the finance side. The other thing is to know what's happening on a super level and the changes, if there's any, you know, to which I'm sure there is, for us to know.
Well, there's just been some changes announced in the most recent federal budget again. Interesting to see, which will be hopefully finalised by the time the conference is on. Whether those announced changes get put into legislation, because they'll need the support of some of the minor parties in the Senate to get through, and so there's some questions about that at the moment.
See, that'll be great if we can talk about some things, so when you come to the event that we can talk about what's happening the latest, what do we need to know. Awesome. Thank you. So excited to have you there.
Very excited to be on board and can't wait till the conference.
Wonderful. It'll be a wonderful conversation. Sorry. Great. It'll be an amazing conversation, and very blessed to have you there, so look forward to it.
Have a great day.
You too.